but you do have to deal with disclosures of pecuniary interest as
Right.
well as section 1.
Okay. So as long as there's no disclosures of pecuniary interest, which I'd be amazed if there was, and reviewing the summary report. Moved by Michael. You want to go again?
Sure.
Seconded by Megan. All in favor? Roll. Now we could skip straight to number 4, right?
We can.
Okay. So unfinished business, local government week. Is that something you wanted me to speak on, or?
I'm happy to. Pam's joined us as well, but her camera's off, so I'm going to talk for just a couple of minutes because I did a little bit of research. Oh, there she is. So I'm going to let Pam take the lead on this actually, and I have a couple things to add afterwards. Pam, go ahead.
Sure. So Michael had reached out to me just to ask if I had any additional ideas for local government week. And there was some thought about maybe everybody on the committee participating on the video, which I think is a really great idea. I think it's also a great idea to showcase the different locations in our municipality, because we have a very beautiful municipality, and certainly we want to be able to reach the youth in all areas of the municipality and have where they live recognized. There's a lot that goes into shaping our community. And when you think about all of the different things that go into shaping the community, we have citizens and citizens group, just like the youth advisory. We have council that listens to the citizens and makes decisions to inform and shape the community. And we also have staff that make professional recommendations on how they feel the community should be shaped. And I also think there's some merit in thinking about when you're reaching out to the youth committee or to the youth community, everyone's getting ready to start the next chapter in your life at some point in the next few years. And you might be thinking about what you would like to do for a career. And I can tell you that there's a lot of really great careers that are available at the town. So if you'd like to return to your hometown and to work and be part of shaping the community of New Tecumseh, there's a lot of really cool careers that are available to you. And some of them need education. So some of them you'll have to go to university or college for, and others you can step into almost immediately. But I thought it might be a really great idea to showcase some of those careers and things that you can do to give back to your community permanently and come back home, live in your hometown.
Thanks, Pam. And just some further information, Local Government Week always happens the third week in October of every year. So this year it falls October 17th to 23rd. Now, the way that's timed is actually timely because that is the week before the municipal election across the province. So all 444 municipalities in the province of Ontario, including New Tecumseh, are going to have their municipal elections on Monday, the 24th. So this is a great way to showcase being a part of your community and all the different ways that everybody can become part of their community, aside from just voting and taking part in the democratic process, right? So I think that's a great week to make a splash and create a video that would create awareness like that, because like Pam said, we're a growing municipality. When I was a kid, younger than all of you, Alliston had 4,000 people. I grew up on a washboard gravel road that is now known as Industrial Parkway. The subdivisions in the south end of my ward, I used to pick potatoes in as a child. They were potato fields. So things will change monumentally in the next 20 to 30 years of your life as well. And you'll look back and say, well, I remember when New Tecumseh had 35, 40,000 people. But with the growth that's coming over the next couple of years, so too comes all of those opportunities. And my late grandfather, who sat on council, once he worked at Hunter Motors, which was a GM dealership in Alliston. He worked there for many years. He was offered a job, a promotion at a dealership in Bolton, which is, if you know where Bolton is, it's really not a long commute. But for somebody that's lived in Alliston all their lives and lived a small town life, I guess it is a bit of a commute, right? But he turned that job down. And the reason he turned it down was because he said it's better to make a little less money and live much closer to home. And I think that those words ring true today as well, because look at what we've been through over the last couple of years, right? With the COVID-19 pandemic and how it sort of reshaped how a lot of us work and how a lot of companies and corporations operate. We need to harness all of the growth that's coming. And the best way to do that is to be a competitive employer. So you don't just have to, we don't just hire mayors and councillors and clerks and administrative assistants. There's all kinds of opportunities in planning, in bylaw enforcement, in parks and recreation, in engineering. There are so many ways to come back to your community after you pursue your post-secondary education. And a lot of our senior staff, I'm thinking of the Director of Public Works, Chad Horn. He went to university and started working in the Public Works Department when his father was a supervisor, and he's now the Director of Public Works as well. So he's just one of a lot of employees that have made New Tecumseh home and made the town of New Tecumseh home as a place for work as well. So I think that's a great way to sort of showcase all of those opportunities as well. And also we need to, I think, highlight how people other than voters get involved in their community. It's not just voting. So ways for members of the senior community to get involved, ways for the youth in our community to get involved, because 1 in 3 in New Tecumseh are under the age of 25. So that's a very significant demographic. And we can talk about some of the different ways that people can get involved without running for office or getting a job at the town or anything like that. There's lots of ways. You can join a committee, or you can join a service club or a group. You can volunteer in your community. You could run for council, or you could just attend meetings and read agendas and become part of the process as well, because that's how I got involved and decided to run in 2014. Politics was always one of those things I was just interested in, but never really talked about with anybody because it was just a boring subject nobody wanted to talk about. But I always found interest in it and I pursued it, and here I am. So anybody can walk through any door of opportunity, certainly here as well. So that's sort of what we had in mind, and I want your thoughts on that as well, because I thought the best way for everybody to get involved without actually having to do copious amounts of research and anything like that, because that's in October, people live busy lives, especially in the week building up to an election and school and everything. So I think the best way to do it and the best way to reach people is to produce those short 60-second, 90-second videos that are sort of like a vignette. So it's not the same person talking, or it's not the same person in the same room. It's everybody. So what I had in mind was everybody could read from one script. It would be the same script, but you would read the whole thing. For example, Megan would read the whole thing herself. Fizza would read the whole thing herself. Matthias would read the whole thing himself. Every member would shoot a video of reading the entire thing. And then what we would do post-production is take all of those and then splice together everybody in a 60 to 90-second loop. What are your thoughts on that? Are you comfortable with being part of that? Fizza?
Sure, but I just have a quick question. Can you guys walk me through a little bit of what local government week is? Because I just got appointed, so I don't really know what's happening. So it'd be really good if you could walk me through, so I'm a bit more informed about what's happening.
Sure. And like I said, with some of the committee members that we have several that are absent today. So what I'll do is, for our next meeting, I'll prepare a short PowerPoint presentation, Fizza, so that I can give you the information that you're probably asking for. And while at the same time, we can sort of bring the other members that aren't here up to date at the same time with where we're going to go from there. But essentially, Local Government Week is just a week-long recognition across the province. It's like it's no different than St. John's Ambulance Week and all the other causes that raise awareness with certain days or certain times in a month or certain weeks, kind of thing. So this is just the local government's administration or the policy drivers and the think tank and the decision makers creating a 1 week of awareness across the board for everybody. But we'll do a short little presentation to bring you as well as the other members up to speed at the next meeting. Okay. But how do you feel about being shooting a video? And what I thought was we could either decide on a certain set of locations, or you could choose your own, because you all live in different pockets and parts of New Tecumseh, and you all probably have your own favorite spot. And I would be interested to know where your chosen spot would be if you know off the top of your head. Go ahead, Dizza. Then Megan, then Mateus.
I'm actually a student page at the library, so I'm actually employed by the government, so the local government. So I'd probably choose the library because I go there a lot and I just love reading. I'm an avid reader, so I'd probably film it over there. And the Tonham Library, I don't know if you guys were there for the grand opening or anything, but it is very beautifully like designed, and it's new and it's like very fresh looking, and like all the light structures and all of that, it's like really fresh looking. So I'd probably have that as like my setting of choice.
Can I just say that's a very good choice, and that was one of that was on the short list of my scouting locations as well, because I actually joined a lot of members of council at the grand opening, and it's beautiful. It's very well put together. It's bright, it's modern, and it's very inviting. And it has the outdoor space outside is beautiful as well. Yeah, staff did a great job on that project. It's very well done. Great choice. And that's definitely one we need to include, because that's a brand new project. Megan, how about you? We'll come back to you.
Sorry. I think the video is a great idea, just because I know in this day and age, not all people will look at like posters or certain things. So a video would grab attention. And I actually just went out with my friend last night, go for some ice cream. So I'd probably choose the Beaton Park, because we go there a lot. And I think it's good to like show off like the facilities we kind of have in New Tech. And it's just a place that me and my friends always go. So that's probably where I'd go.
Yeah, that park is really nice. And I really like the library there as well. Mm-hmm. It's beautifully done, and the community gardens that have just got going outside there. Yeah, there's lots of great places in Beaton, but that park is definitely, there'll be some great shots there. Good choice. Mateus?
Yeah, I think the video is a good idea. I like the core idea, just throwing everything together from a bunch of people. Maybe even if you could get some other actual town councilors on board just to concoct something together. I think that'd be, just reinforces it more with the public, because they know them more than they would know us. I should write that. I'll write that down after. And in terms of where I would film, I have no idea. Yeah, I couldn't tell you right now.
Okay. Let me give you a couple of the ones I was thinking about. I was thinking about the Gibson Center.
Yeah, that's nice.
Is a great example of an old industrial farm building transformed into a beautiful arts and culture facility and preserved piece of history. So that would definitely be on mine. Another one would be Riverdale Park.
Yeah, I was thinking more greenery based than building based.
Mm-hmm. They did a really great job on the adventure playground there. and the lit trail that's going along the Boyne River is coming along really well, really nicely as well.
Yeah, I haven't
So
been there
that's
in a while, so
things
I wouldn't have known that they did that. Yeah, I'm just
Another option would be somewhere along the Trans-Canada Trail.
I
in
was just
between.
thinking that on kind of perpendicular to 10th line.
Yeah.
Going into
where
Beacon.
the key gates are, the entrances
Yeah,
and whatnot. Yeah,
That just
yeah,
popped
if
in
you
my
just,
head.
yeah, if you just go down a few hundred feet from the gates, you'd probably get some great shots in there as well.
Yeah.
And we could do
Good
we could also do some open farm shots as well,
hmm
some shots of Honda.
Yeah, I'm on Industrial Parkway a lot, so I was thinking Industrial Parkway, but there's really nowhere to stop.
Pam, regarding Mateus's suggestion of having members of council part of it, because it would be, if it was any other year and not an election year, it wouldn't be an issue, would it? Or I guess my question is, can declared candidates be part of it, since it would be a town thing?
Well, so council members are still allowed to perform their regular duties. So if this would fall under regular duties, which it could, then that would be okay. But what I might recommend is our current mayor, Rick Milne, he's not going to run again. And he has a very distinguished career in public service. So you may not know this, but he started off as a police officer. And our OPP that look after our town, they're actually contracted by the town to do so. But back when Rick was doing it, when the mayor was doing it, he actually worked directly for the town. So he worked for town council directly. So he was a police officer, and then he worked his way up to the chief of police for, I think it was the town of Alliston. And then, you know, subsequent to that, he went on to become the mayor. So he has a full career in the public sector, and he would be an excellent ambassador for your video if I can make that recommendation.
I will second your recommendation, Pam, because that was going to be my recommendation as well. Mayor Milne has had a long successful career in public service, and he has been a great ambassador, not just for this committee, and certainly been a friend to me over the years. But he's also been a big supporter and proponent of our youth, both at the municipal and regional level, but also out in the community with the police and the police services board. He's very active, and he would be a great choice to be part of it as well. So I think that if you wanted to have a member of council, Mayor Milne would be the perfect choice to have. And I would prefer to not be on it. But what I will do for you in exchange is, if you will all shoot a video, I will write the script. Deal? Okay. All right. I think that's the best way to do it. That's where my strength is. I can write. So no problem. I'll put that together. And like I said, it'll be the same 60-second or so. Don't really want to go longer than that, but it'll be the same 60-second, and it would be like on a card in front of you. I'm going to see about getting a hold of a friend of mine that has the mic equipment and the camera equipment, because you don't want to, especially if you're going outdoors, you don't want to just go out there and take it with a iPhone camera, because the sound and video quality won't be good. So it's much better when you're actually mic'd up and you just have a card in front of you, read, and done. Okay. All right. So that's what we'll do then. For the next meeting, I'll prepare a short PowerPoint on local government week, and I'll include some of the information we covered, as well as some other information from AMCTO. And we'll spend a few minutes and go through that and update the rest of the committee members at the next meeting. And from there, I'll hopefully have heard back from the person that I have in mind to shoot the videos. And the other thing I had in mind was, in terms of actually getting together and doing all of these, what do you think is easiest? Do you think it's easiest to try and get everybody together for, say, a half a day at one location where we can go out and shoot them and come back, and then at the end of the day have breakfast or lunch or something? Or is it easier to sort of try and go out to people individually? Does anybody have summer vacation plans over the next, between now and say Labor Day weekend, where you're absolutely not going to be here? I think we should probably cover that. Megan, Mateus, you guys had your hands up.
Yeah, I'm pretty much blocked off from next Monday, so whatever that is, the 18th, pretty close up to August 16th. I have to go Florida next week, then I'm back. Then in August, I have to go to Montreal for a baptism, and that's going to be probably, as it's drawn out because of my father's family, a week-long ordeal, if I was to guesstimate.
Okay. Well, so you're out till around the 16th.
Yeah, as a safe assumption, yes.
Okay. Megan?
I have a trailer up north in around Muskoka, so I really don't have like a set time I'm going to be there, but you might have to just let me know so I can come home.
Okay. You don't need to come home. We'll book it. That's why I want to make sure. So what was that date again?
There's really no specified day. That's why I'm saying you just might have to let me know.
Okay, no problem. And Fizit, do you have any plans this summer where you're going to be away for an extended period of time? We just want to try and set a meeting date for the next one where we can make sure we're not booking it when somebody's already telling us they're going to be away.
No, not really, not anything fixed, but something might show up, so I don't know.
Okay. So the only thing that's really pressing with me is that I'm in a conference in August, and I'm trying to remember the date of it. Pam, do you remember it? I think it's the week before. I think it's the 14th. 15th,
I think
16th.
it's, you're talking about AMO?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll find it. August 14th to the 17th.
14th to 17th. Okay. Okay, so I think we need to shoot for our next meeting being just after August the 17th. Because that'll take us through the Civic Day long weekend, as well as the Potato Festival weekend is the following weekend. And then the conference and vacation are already booked for that week. So looking at the week of the 17th, or sorry, the week of the 21st. How is either Tuesday, the 23rd of August, or Wednesday, the 24th? Carrie, I should probably ask you first.
I can't do the 24th. I am available the 23rd.
Okay. How's the 23rd of August, guys?
As the next meeting date or this shooting date?
Next meeting date. And then what we'll do is at that meeting, we'll book a date where we can get everybody or as many people together, and we'll either meet in person or we'll do them one by one and then put them together.
Yeah, I don't have it. I shouldn't have any conflicts with the 23rd. I can. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so if we go for August the 23rd, and then I'll see what I have for, I'm thinking maybe like the week after Labor Day, or the week after that, maybe, once school is back in, fall is getting closer. That's sort of a good time to be out shooting videos and doing that kind of stuff. So we might get some great weather at that time. Okay, so if we book a date in September at the August meeting, then if it lines up where everybody can get together, I'd like to book lunch or something like that at the end of it all, so that we can at least have a little bit of an in-person gathering for a couple of hours at the end of it. And I'll ask Mayor Millen and Pam and CAO Parkin and Carrie to join us as well. We'll see if we can get that lined up. Be nice to actually have, we haven't had one in-person meeting in so long, and it would be nice to just do something like that. It was so nice to see some of you at the DN Rose Park opening. And that was the first time I'd actually seen some of you in person. So I think it'd be nice to do something like that, as long as things will allow for it. So Pam, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I am so excited to see this video, and I'm so excited that it's coming together. It sounds like it's going to be really great. And I think everybody's going to do really well at it too. So thank you for doing this.
I think it'll be awesome too. It's a great way for people to get involved, and it's a great way to get people having conversations, or having thoughts about how they can get involved in whatever way they want to, because it doesn't matter where you are, or how old you are, or what limitations or exceptionalities or whatever walk of life, there's always a way for you to get involved somehow in your community on some level, for sure. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, we've set the meeting for Tuesday, August the 23rd. Do you still want to do a mid-afternoon meeting? Is that better? I'm fine with it if you are.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Is 3 p.m. okay, Carrie?
That's fine with me, as long
Yeah.
as it's fine with everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Great.
let's do Tuesday, August 21st at 3 p.m. And we will go from there. Just before we wrap up, I just wanted you to know that the results of the survey that was put together by you guys and sent out to people received the responses, which we crafted down into the top 3. And I wanted you to know that those recommendations all passed at council, and they'll be forwarded on to the 2023 budget deliberations. So you guys made some great ideas, because I was looking through actually all of the programs that we offer, and between all the sports, hockey, swimming, skating, there's so much that we could be offering. I was looking at some of the STEM programming that the city of Brantford and the city of Barrie was offering in other places. They're doing like do-it-yourself mechanical arms and lightsabers and coding and like they're doing all kinds of amazing things, and they're completely sold out. So there's definitely a demand for them.
The Brantford one, I've just read very briefly about it, because it's kind of done through Laurier University. So that is definitely very well funded STEM program and well administered. So I know it doesn't have anything to do with this. I just know a little bit about it, and it's amazing what they've done for that community.
And they're, if you haven't been to the Tottenham Library yet, go in and check out the Crick Idea Lab.
Where is that?
It's in the far end of the rec center.
Okay.
So the gym's at the front, the library's at the back.
Oh, didn't know that.
It's like right, you can't really see it, but I don't know if you guys know where the ice skating rink is, but it's like right beside that. And if you go
okay, yeah, it's in
the outside one.
Yeah.
So, like, go down that pathway, you'll find the library. It's like it has really big windows, and it's just like, and I'm like really happy to hear that you guys have like put the survey and brought those recommendations out to council, because the programs at the library that we started offering, because of like the makerspace that's just been built over there that offers 3D printing and laser cutting and stuff. Those programs were like filled in like a couple of days for the kids, especially the kids ones. And it's just like the demand is growing because like the population is growing. And obviously the town now has to like try to compromise and grow itself to like offer those like things, because people want them and they want their kids, and people themselves want to go outside and actually do stuff. And it's just nice that like you guys are thinking about offering more stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the committee made some great recommendations to council, and I think that the This will be up to the new council that's elected in the fall. The first thing that they'll deal with after the election is the 2023 budget. And in the 2023 budget will be recommendations to council to pursue additional programming in those 3 areas. And those 3 areas are important because they tie back to something I've talked about since I came to council in 2014, and is that when 1 in 3 people in your municipality are under the age of 25, you have to assume that, 1 in 3 people don't play just hockey. New Tecumseh is not just a hockey town anymore, right? So we have to keep that in mind whenever we grow our programs, because not everybody plays hockey or those certain sports, right? The more we have for people to do, the better. It sounds like you really love the library, Liza. I love hearing that.
Yeah, because I grew up, I'm actually originally from East York, Toronto. So over there, the library, it was right in front of my house. So I grew up on the library, and the programs they offer. When I came here and I started working as a student page and was introduced to all of that stuff, and it just shocked me how small and how it's not as much offered over there, because for there they're computer scientists and people from all walks of life will just come and do workshops for 2-3 days to have that opportunity and experience to teach people. And I did 3D printing workshops. I did learned how to do scratch coding from workshops like that, and and it was just amazing. And and there was reading buddy programs. There was a lot, and it was just, I was really used to that. And then when I came here and visited the library for the first time, and I asked about programs, and they were just it's not as established. It was just no, it'd be nice if there'd be more things to there.
And you know what, just to answer your question briefly, the reason it's a bit of a stumbling block to get it is because it's almost an added level of service. It's not a level of service, so to speak, but it's an additional suite of programming that we don't have. We don't have the in-house talent that are specialized in coding and robotics and program facilitation, all those things, right? So these are the kinds of things that when you start building them, you bring the programs in sort of built with the facilitator. They bring the materials, and you book those facilitators in at your space, and for a week or 2 weeks, whatever it is. Most of the camps are 4 or 5 days long for each session, and I think that's how you gauge interest. You bring in an expert, you bring in a couple of experts for a year, and you pilot the project and see, let's offer it to 60 kids. And if we only get 30, then we know the demand wasn't as high. If it sells out in 2 days, we know we have something hot, and we need to have more of it. But it's a great way to figure out and sort of gauge what the community's needs are without having to purchase all the equipment, hire a specialist, all those things, right? So it's a great way to figure it out ahead of time. And I think you're right. I think that the need and the demand is there, and it will grow. It will grow for sure. All right, if there's nothing else, I suppose the only thing left is adjournment. Mateus?
Yeah. So a motion to adjourn at 3:40 p.m. and 28 seconds. Michael moved that, and who would like to second that? Megan, all in favor? Great. So see you guys on the 23rd, as long as everything pans out properly.
All righty. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a good summer.